Hello, welcome back everybody to BYOB with Pika Latushi. I am your host, Pika Latushi. This is episode 5. It is a gorgeous day here in New Orleans, and I'm super excited to introduce our next guest for episode 5. He is a man of many names, a man of many words. He's my other best friend. He's a husband. He is Snoopy. He is Lucky. He is Joaquin. He is Pony. Y'all give it up for, what should I call you today? Because you're Snoopy to me.
I guess we should determine what it was we talked about most, and then at the end we'll sign off with exactly where we conclude with that particular question.
Okay, we'll just call him by his many names throughout. So welcome, Pony.
Hello.
How are you?
Can't complain doesn't make any sense anymore, so I'm going to say I shan't complain.
Okay, well, let's go with an easier question. Now, this is BYOB. Now, usually what has often happened is I have my own drink prepared, but Snoopy, being the gentleman that he is, also brought enough for the whole interview. The entire staff is sharing. You brought enough for the entire staff. So let's tell our audience, what are we drinking here today?
This right here is a Greyhound. First of all, let's do this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah, that takes the edge off.
Yeah.
And for those of you who do not know, a Greyhound is basically a screwdriver, but with grapefruit juice instead of orange juice.
Yeah. Also, just to let everybody know, no greyhounds were harmed while making this beverage.
Absolutely not. Had we put salt on the rim, they would have been called salty dogs. No salty dogs were harmed either.
No salty dogs.
And for those of you who are avid drinkers, I highly suggest this drink specifically because you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you realize you need an eye opener, you try a screwdriver, the classic, it tastes terrible because of the orange juice.
Yeah.
Grapefruit juice is not affected by the taste of toothpaste. So for those of you who need to take the edge off, maybe take care of those shakes a little bit after you've brushed your teeth, grapefruit juice instead.
Listen, if you're gonna, I guess if you're gonna have a drink before you brush your teeth, it really doesn't matter.
Does not. No.
Does not matter. But if you are like, if you're like into dental hygiene or whatever.
I mean, if you're brushing your teeth in the morning, it means you care enough about your life to care about whether or not something tastes horribly. If you do not brush your teeth in the morning, it means drink whatever you want to.
Drink
Start
whatever you want.
Shot in a beer. Go for it.
Drink whatever you want. So it is January 19th, 2021. Tomorrow is Inauguration Day.
It is, yep.
Oh, how you feeling?
Goodness. Hard to say. When things are oftentimes beyond my control, I'm able to sort of shut down and ignore them.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I get reminded of it. I say, oh, that is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a thing like, the sun revolves around the earth.
Well, and I think, like, obviously with what happened with January 6th, we're all a little on edge.
Yeah.
So I am happy, but also, like, got my eyes open, don't plan on leaving the house tomorrow for safety and to be aware. I don't want to go too heavy because I try to keep things on the show light. So let's have a cheers, a little toast. So we weren't sure if we were going to make it this far 4 years ago, and here we are. So yes, we made it. Hooray. Now, that brings us to, you, little over 4 years ago, were working at a very popular museum.
Yes.
I don't want to say the name because I don't need to get sued. But it was a museum that kind of painted the United States in a way that maybe helped lead to the last election.
This museum is, first of all, a private museum. It's a nonprofit, so it answers to no oversight.
Okay.
As a lot of nonprofits, it is it comes with a certain shadiness. Very successful, huge nonprofits can often, as you know, simply just use their funds for their own gain. They're money-making machines. One of the main contributors to this museum was one of Donald Trump's top.
Try not to say his name either.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Was one of Donald Trump's.
I might just when I say we're going to fix that in post, and then I don't really do anything. No, I might just put it or something over that.
Fine.
Yeah, so that's fine. We know. We
Fine.
know.
I would like creative control over the sound, though. Just run a few by me. I just, maybe animal sounds would also do as well. Anyway, let's just say that this particular individual was a very prominent GOP fundraiser, the GOP fundraiser for the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
The need to make enormous amounts of money means that, for example, the bookstore was filled with things that would cater towards those who were very excited about the United States as primarily a military power, as opposed to anything else.
Right. Also
coupled with very dangerous nostalgia for years past. For example, this has got a 50s or a cafe that's supposed to be nostalgic for the good old days of the Depression and everything happening in the 40s. Let's just say that this cafe also has got none of the signs that would probably be hanging up in cafes at the time.
Right.
So it's a bit of a whitewash.
It's a bit of a whitewash and a very idealistic image of a country that's never really existed. And after the election, the day after the election, you resigned.
Yes, I did.
Would you mind sharing your resignation letter with us? I know it's a bit lengthy.
Oh, it is. Essentially, apart from the news that I was planning to resign, and when and how, all it said was, we helped make this happen. And then I handed it over to my immediate boss, who was a wonderful individual, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, this particular person also immediately turned in their resignation. Now, I offered, because there is kind of a foxhole mentality, to stick around during the busy season. This was in November. I was going to wait through January. My superior went ahead, turned in their resignation, and actually took off before I did. Stole my idea and did a better job of it. You know who you are if you're watching this, and I think you still owe me a drink for that. I don't care how many you bought me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's watching because, she is not just a fan of the shows that the Blue Stockings have done, but she's a huge fan of you. And you, we're like the Blue Stockings for the love of. Very big fans of you. We did a show based on one of your books, 75 Secrets. Which is a great. It's one of your smaller books, or
it's like we could call them pieces. There's 75 pieces of work, but some of them are only a paragraph long. Some of them are maybe 3 pages long.
So before we go into promoting you, tell the audience. I know a lot about you, but tell the audience a little bit about your life. Where'd you grow up? How did you end up in New Orleans?
I guess a sort of just quick fast forward was I was born in the Netherlands, and I grew up mostly in the United States, a couple of years in Bethesda, Maryland, then mostly in North Carolina, in Durham, around the Duke University, UNC, Chapel Hill area, for those of you who follow college basketball or just college in general, though I can't imagine why you'd want to do either one of those things. I lived in Chile off and on for a good couple of years. I went to university in New York. I stayed there for a while, bopped around. I was, for a couple of years, published once or twice by Random House as a young adult author. That is, as an author of young adult fiction. I was not that tiny when I first started writing those things. I was never able to be too successful. Eventually I got dropped by them. I got tired of trying to publish the old-fashioned way. I went self-published. That also did not work. I moved to New Orleans in a very sort of leaving Las Vegas kind of move. Everyone knows what Nicolas Cage in that movie was planning to do once he got there. We're not going to say it out loud. We're just going to be kind of sly about it. And then I met a large amount of people who, it turns out, I enjoyed being around a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, this person to my side is one of them. And And she can attest, by the way, that basically I think I knew her for maybe almost 4 years before we ever had a conversation. No matter how much we hung out, that was just over 4 sentences.
Well, in all fairness, though,
That was on me, by the way.
no, it not just on you, because your lovely wife, CC Dynamite, is my best friend, which anybody who's ever hung out with me and CC knows it's hard to get a word in edgewise with us. We both get very excited. We're very passionate. I always felt bad because I thought you were bored, but then you would always come back with something like, hey, so this thing that you and Cece were talking about really got me thinking, and I wrote this piece based on, it was just like, oh, wow, all right, so he's not bored. Me and Cece are incredibly intelligent, funny human beings who would be bored around us, right?
Well, also working retail has taught me to be able to do crossword puzzles and listen to people at the same time.
At the same time, yeah. Now, another retail job you had that is a lot more fun, you used to work in a sex shop.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was in adult retail for maybe 7 or so years, on and off, which is very specialized, so it's a little different than most retail. I started doing that after I had also done some food service. It was my first time doing retail. And I got to tell you right now, the best thing about retail is that there's really never any panic, at least for me in the situation, because essentially, as you well know, doing food service, waiting tables, serving tables, is multi-dimensional. There are a bunch of other tables that have no idea that other people exist. When you have a line, people can complain about it, but you ultimately can draw on the authority to say there's a line.
Yeah.
There is an order here. There is something. There's a way that this actually works so that we can have a civilization.
Yeah.
That is not the case. Food service is the Wild West.
No,
It hasn't
I
really
hate it.
gotten
I'm so
any better.
glad.
There's some decent restaurant owners out there, some decent managers, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it is just one of the darkest industries.
It is a skill set that I'm super happy to have, especially because now, like so many others, I am unemployed, and eventually I am going to have to look for a job again. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe this takes off. But it is a certain skill set that I'm super happy to have, but I never want to go back to again. Now I know some people love it, they thrive in it, it's exactly what they want to be doing. I did it for close to 20 years, between serving, bartending, bar managing, restaurant managing, working in the kitchen. I was just like, no, this I'm friggin' done. When did you figure out that you were good with words and that was something that you needed to do?
I've sort of always done it on and off. I think actually it might just be part of my natural self-destructiveness. I actually originally went to college to study film. There was once a time when I was actually very much seduced by the allure of like fame, fortune, making it big in an industry that everybody, loves as long as they're not working in it. And of course, some people who do work in it do enjoy it as well. But I dropped out of film school because this was also, I might as well say, this was NYU, which is basically just a money mill as well. And I'm saying this, so do not come after this person. Also try to disprove it. I'm sorry. NYU is basically about creating the next legion of famous people who will then give them money, and so on and so forth. I didn't ever feel that anyone cared about art at all in that environment. So I thought to myself, well, I've got nothing to do. I'm very depressed. I dislike myself immensely. What's the dumbest thing anybody could possibly do when they're feeling like this? And the answer is be a writer. So I actually took a passion from when I was younger and just sort of dove headfirst into it. And I've just sort of never budged from that ever since.
Well, I for one am happy that you've never budged from that, because you are an amazing writer. I love your short stories. You've worked with us on scripts. You have been at almost every one of the For the Love of shows. You wrote an amazing letter to tourists that were trying to return and did in the onset of the pandemic. And let's not call it a pandemic. It's a fucking plague.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a plague. Oh, my phone doesn't like that. My phone's like, the producers are like, good, she's a plague.
Don't use the P word. This is like Patty Chayefsky and Network.
But that's what it is. It's a plague. And like we are now not just one day away from the inauguration. We're also in carnival season.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor just told visitors, come.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on down for Mardi Gras. Just act like a New Orleanian. And it's like, but this has been going on for 10 months, right?
Yeah.
The tourists are not acting like New Orleanians because New Orleanians who care about their community are staying the fuck home.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, it's really disappointing. And again, try not to go too deep. So I'm going to switch directions real quick before we go to our commercial break. Not only are you a writer, you're a boylesque performer. You have been producing shows with Cece. You've also you guys have started the zine. Which I'm gonna continue to add stuff, but what the newest thing that you have done, at least for us and for the love of, and what we'll be backtracking on with previous episodes, is you've been doing the closed captioning for our online events. Now, we're going a little bit over, which is fine. I don't care that we go a little bit over. I just don't want to go too over. Yes. Can you walk me through that process?
I forget the name of the program that I bought. I first downloaded, did a free trial. I really liked it, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to do decent captionings for the show that I did for you, which you're going to have to remind people the name of because everything's a blur now. For that particular one, it was for the House of Tula.
That was for House of Tula. Yeah, that was the first time that we had the closed captioning, which you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. It's not an easy process.
It's not. Well, it depends. It's very rote. It's very repetitive, which I actually enjoy sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, I try to basically incorporate, just while I'm doing things, I get to know performers, people who speak, storytell, just see their affectations. And in certain respects, actually, when I was doing all of your segments, it was much more like being with you and having a conversation with you than, say, maybe even actually having a conversation over the Zooms might. Because also I remembered a lot of your habits and the way you spoke and what would come next. And also, while slowing down to figure out when to put in the next captions, I could tell by the way you were maybe moving your head or behaving or a gesture. I said, oh, I don't have to hear. I just know, pause. This is where the next one comes in. And it was
predictable.
Always true.
I'm predictable. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
predictable like a fox. A predictable fox.
A predictable fox. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I should have peppered some more in there.
Okay. So, before we go to our commercial breaks, is there anything that you're working on, like personally?
Completely scattershot. I've just been, whenever I get the chance to, I've sat down to try to knock some stuff out. But apart from some nonfiction stuff that I wrote over the course of the past year, one of the big problems is that part of writing is not writing. So you sit down and you don't write sometimes. You spend 8 hours and all it is me drinking and smoking in front of a computer screen. And even if I say to myself, okay, if you write one page, you can watch porn now. Even doing that doesn't always help. Not writing is something that has to be gotten out of the way. I've had so little time over the past year to just sit and do nothing, actually, that I've not actually had a chance to get to the part where the writing just sort of flows for several days straight. That being said, I hope to get back to it, and I
Yeah.
feel that enough of me is kind of like damaged again and exhausted that I might be ready to tell the story of my first arrival to New Orleans
Okay.
through the first couple of months, which involves meeting for the first time on the first day that I was here, my now spouse.
Who you just celebrated your 2-year anniversary.
Yes.
Your 2-year anniversary, but what that is, that you're 7.
It's around 7 years since we first met.
Well, no,
Or-
it's your 7 marriage anniversary.
Oh, goodness.
Because you guys got married 3 times.
The officiation happened
So-
just recently, 2 years ago, and then we had a marriage here, an official marriage party
And then one in New York,
in North Carolina.
in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had didn't you have one in New York?
We did not, but there's also a 4th anniversary, which is the official anniversary of us calling ourselves as a couple official,
Yeah.
which is Punchiversary, which is an
Punchiversary,
entirely too long
yeah.
a story.
Yeah.
Ask us about it, though, sometime. It involves me getting punched in the face.
Not by me.
No.
Not by me.
No. Goodness, though, the clock is ticking if it happens someday.
So yeah,
Yeah, fine.
I'm sure we'll find a way to work that story in at some point. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that we have because you're not on Facebook anymore, but you are on Twitter, you are on Instagram,
Correct.
and you have a website which will be located up here for y'all to see. That actually does get edited in post, but we're not done. What's going on?
No,
over
no,
there?
nothing. Sorry, I was
Oh,
trying to
okay.
visualize my website.
Oh no,
And
I think it's Joaquin Emiliano. I don't
it
know.
might be. I don't remember things that way. I just
No.
I got things I can click on without having to remember anything anymore.
Well,
So-
and that's what we're gonna
get there,
We're
yeah.
gonna get there.
Yeah.
So, this is the first interview we've done so far where either the chickens didn't show up,
Mm-hmm.
a mouse didn't run by, there were no really loud noises. Or like so.
You know
all
what,
right.
frankly,
but
at-
it's not
at-
over yet.
at this-
It's not over.
Yeah.
So
At this point in our history, I just want to say I'm very glad for any opportunity when chickens don't come home to roost. I'm fine with that right now.
actually, the chickens are under the house right now.
Ah,
the
chickens.
the chickens are under the house. All right. So y'all, I have some food that I prepared for you. Dorothy's coming around. So y'all, we're gonna take a real quick pause. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. So, deodorant, tampon, tampon. That's hot. Welcome back, everybody. This is the second portion of episode 5 of BYOB with Pika Latushi. This is the part that I like to call shameless self-promotion with Pika Latushi, where I feed people on the show something that I've made very specifically for them. Again, if you watch the show, you know that I love cooking for people. I also have started a new business. We're trying, I don't know, called Pikala's Pierogies, but I don't always make pierogies. One of the things I am dabbling with is pasta, and Snoopy here is a vegetarian, but also he's a very light eater, like maybe one meal a day, if that. Depending on the day, 1.5 with like some guacamole if he's really hungry. So I wanted to make sure that I did something special for you. Now, I've made a homemade pasta before, but the pasta that I've prepared for you it's a vegan pasta, but I made it with basil, garlic powder, and crushed red pepper. It's tossed in a little bit of olive oil. There's the noises. There they are. Toss it with a little bit of olive oil, some green onion, and fresh tomato. And another first, Snoopy has brought something else for us to drink to pair up with the pasta. So how do you want to do this? You want to...
Let's go ahead and pour this.
Let's pour this. Do I need to give it a...
Nope. This is a nice mid-range, sort of like under $10 in certain places wine.
Is it a menage a trois?
Well, if you consider the bottle our third, then it definitely is. Yes. This is gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna drink deep from this extra person that we brought along. It's a red blend, and I just think it's a very sort of tasty, non-ultra cheap wine. And anyway, well, first of all, cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so now I did bring Parmesan cheese and crushed red pepper, but you're a guinea pig.
Yes.
So before it should, the temperature's all right. I had to cook it up. Let's see. What are your thoughts? Be honest.
Texture, first of all.
Yeah, the texture.
Hold on, maybe I'd feel a bit better. I was just like, bro, the texture, out of this world. It's incredible. You get the feeling, you get the taste right there with that, especially for homemade. That's like difficult to do. All right, amazing. Hang on one second. I'm gonna have a bit with like one of the tomatoes here.
No, I'm happy with the texture. I think it needs more of the spices added in to really get those flavors.
Interestingly enough, considering the fact that it was, well, first of all, very easy to make because it was sort of like garlic powder instead of like chopped or crushed or anything like that. Yeah. But actually the flavor is really there. Yeah, it's different. It's sort of like the difference between when you get prepared minced garlic and fresh chopped garlic. Yeah. The flavors are different. One's not necessarily superior to the other. It just kind of depends on what you're going for.
It's a little bit different.
Also, I love, also the tomatoes are really good because if not, at least in my experience, fresh tomatoes tossed into pasta sauce, anything, if they're not put in at the right moment, they just kind of disintegrate, they disappear, they lose their way.
Yeah, they lose their way.
They join the dark side. And in this particular case, I've had a couple of these, super tasty.
Oh yeah. Good. Now, I mean, I am happy, and you know, I said that Snoopy is a light eater, so you might be thinking, but why would you like bring him pasta? But that's the thing with a homemade pasta, it is super light. It's like I'm gonna eat the whole bowl, and probably whatever you don't eat because you're just not gonna eat that much. But it's not as filling. It's like a half a bowl of store-bought pasta is going to be a pretty nice dish for someone. But that's because there's so many chemicals in it that keep it on the shelf. Yeah. And that's why a lot of people think that a pasta is a heavy dish. Yeah. But it's the chemicals.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I would crawl to the ends of the earth and commit all sorts of crimes for this individual right over here. And yes, I would lie for them. If I wasn't enjoying this, I'm sorry, it is true, I would lie about it. But I am promising you that actually, when I bite into this, I can actually taste the difference. And believe me, as someone who does not eat a lot, I know the difference between something that's gonna just knock me out and just make me feeling like very full and not in like the good way, and something that, yeah, absolutely different. So actually, yes, I promise you, this is actually different. You can just automatically taste it and feel it.
Well, yay. I mean, I feel like I still need to work on the recipe. And I'm waiting. I actually, I can't wait for the day that somebody comes on and is just like, or it takes a bite and is like, no. Like, that'll make, I mean, it's not gonna make me happy. Nobody, but it'll definitely entertain me.
Quick question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my brainless like morning show on basic television voice here.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of us, we're very busy. We've got a lot on our plate. I know, being the mother of 2 cats. Actually, though, for real, how long does it take to, like, the entire process? Ignoring purchasing stuff, of course, but what does it take to make this?
To make this?
Yeah.
Well, so, like, getting the ingredients, like, all mixed up, 5 minutes, tops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'll blend it. Then you want it to rest for at least 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, this is hard because I haven't perfected the technique.
Mm-hmm.
But to like actually spin all the spaghetti, like roll the dough out and then roll it through the one side on the spaghetti maker and then roll it through the actual where it shreds the spaghetti. That takes a couple hours. Then the other process is leaving it out to dry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, technically it is ready. Like you can just throw it in the water real quick, boom, put it in there for like a minute or two. But when you're making large batches, which is what I'm going to be doing, you want it to dry out, and that is a 12 to 24 hour process. And then freeze it, bag it. That's another hour or two. So, but I mean, like honestly, I don't want to be like, oh, it takes like 36 hours, which might technically be true, but honestly, the chickens are over there. The majority of that time, I'm doing other shit. Like it's just, it's doing its own stuff.
Well, once you want to like move into the more shameless and misleading promotional venues, just be like lovingly made over the course of an entire week.
Yeah.
That was me, by the way, going the more just like grandma route, like Grangela Angela's special pasta.
Such a lady. Okay, well, I think we've taken up enough of everybody's time. Follow For the Love Of and Piccola's Pierogies on both Facebook and Instagram. Coming soon to Twitter. I feel like now I might have the heart to take Twitter. But coming soon. Outside of that, y'all, please check out Joaquin Emiliano. A lot of his writing is available on the interwebs for free. Follow him on the Gram, Insta, on the Twitter. We'll have your email and everything like that up. Is there anything you want to, any last words? Any last, what Snoopy doesn't know is this is his last meal.
My only regret was that I had only one life to give for my country, because this kind of blows. That really was it. That's all I got.
That's it. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much. I am Piccola Tushy. This is Joaquin Emiliano, Snoopy, Lucky Strikeout, and Pony. Kisses from a distance. We are signing off. Bye. Check.
Check. This is how I feel about things.
Stuff and things.
What are things but stuff and things?
Stuff and
also,
things. Yeah.
what do you think's like around this level to hold the microphone?
Yeah, I mean, it picks up everything pretty well. So, I think.
All right, who
like,
am I? Am I Yeah, I know, top or bottom, we all know. But
If you keep an eye on that and it starts to go like really red,
just pull back,
yeah,
or
yeah.
or talk about something other than politics.
Yep. Yeah, whatever you don't eat, I'm totally eating.
Oh, so now we're still recording, but
Yeah.
I was very tempted as we did this to just be like, okay, actually, this is terrible. Like, just have a B-roll.
That would have been awesome. No, I would have totally loved it.